I have book 2, so it's going to be very hot here in Portland. It's in fact really hot right now inside because I don't have air conditioning. So I thought I would soothe my soul by going to the gigantic Powell's bookstore in downtown Portland. So I thought I would share some books with you and then like sweatingly put them away. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. I have Leaning into the Wind by Lyndall Hasselstrom, Gato Collier, and Nancy Curtis. And this is Women Write from the Heart of the West. I'm currently reading Weaving into the Wind, and that's all about women's friendships with other women in the West, and it's like essay collections, there's poetry, and like just some of the little paragraphs of their relationship with others. And this one is just like the relationship with the West, with the land and nature. And so due to this book, I'm pretty sure is why I picked up several of these other books. But I can't exactly remember where I've heard about some of these. So I have Burning the Breeze, 3 Generations of Women in the American West by Lisa Hendrickson. So I think it's influenced from this kind of series, but I can't exactly remember because I was reading a bunch of different Western type books for June on the Range. I really like the cover of this one too. And then I have Cowgirls, Women of the American West by Teresa Jordan. I know where this one is influenced from because I saw this spine here. And this is by Bison Books, and I hadn't heard of them before until I had picked up these 2 books for June on the Range. No Life for a Lady and A Bride Goes West. And these were 2 of my favorite books for June. Even though they're not exactly Westerns, they're set in the West. So when I saw this spine, it stood out to me. And so I thought it'd be fun to read about cowgirls and like their history and not just, the typical cowboy stories. Then I have Wild Heritage by Sally Carriger. She is one of my favorite nature writers. I feel like she's like one of like the old school, like one of the original kind of nature writers. And this one is kind of like, has this like residue from the sticker, and there's no dust jacket. But I saw it and I picked it up because I don't have this one. Whenever I see her books, I always pick them up. She has a couple books on ebook as well, and so all of her books always have like little illustrations. And so yeah, this is just a nice little book. I'm not exactly sure what this one's about. I know I haven't read it yet. Then I have We Took to the Woods by Louise Dickinson Rich, and again, I'm not sure exactly where I heard about this one from, but this was written in 1942, and it's about Louise and her husband in their early 30s. They moved to a remote backcountry settlement in Middle Dam in the Rangeley area of Maine. And I have these 3 books here. These are all like by Laura Ingalls Wilder. This is Writings to Young Women on Wisdom and Virtue. Book 2 is On Life as a Pioneer Woman, and then I have As Told by Her Family, Friends, and Neighbors. And when it was funny, when I was checking out at the register, the cashier kept like thumbing through these as I'm like, waiting for my card to, pay and all of that. She kept picking, I think she would wanted to buy these. But yeah, I had one of these before, but I can't remember which one. So I picked them all up, and I'll like donate the one I have, the duplicate. But yeah, these are in really nice condition, and they'll go on my ever-growing Little House on the Prairie bookshelf. I have Wallace Stegner's Angle of Repose, and this book I've already read, but I was in the mood to reread it this summer, and I was surprised to see that it wasn't available on the Kindle app. I could only get it through my Libby app on my library, and I don't really tend to like reading on my iPad because for the glare, and so I picked up a physical copy, and this is set in like the Grass Valley area of California, which I am very, very familiar with because I lived right near there at the time. And so yeah, I just was in the mood to read this, and he's one of my favorite authors as well. And then I have Waiting for the Party, The Life of Frances Hodgkin Burnett, and this is the author of The Secret Garden and A Little Princess and like Little Lord Fauntleroy, I think is the title. I read all 3 of these, and this is by Anne Thwaite. And so yeah, I was just like browsing Powell's, and I saw this and like, okay, it'll go on. Like I have a couple of books of biographies of different authors on my shelf, and so I'll add this one to it. And this for sure is going to inspire me to reread all of her books as well. Which is The Secret Garden was one of my favorite books it was one of my favorite like assigned books in school when I was in elementary school. Then I have A.B. Guthrie Jr.'s The Way West, And I also have, I think I have the other one. Like, yeah, somewhere in here. Because there's a book one, The Big Sky. And I'm pretty sure, there it is, yep. The Big Sky and The Way West are part of a series. Oh, it's funny. I was just talking about Wallace Stegner, and it's a foreword by Wallace Stegner. So they write in a similar vein, and then, yeah, I'm sure I would love this. And again, can't exactly remember how I came upon learning about this, because I know I didn't know about them before June on the Range, but I'm sure, like, I was watching many booktubers videos on Westerns, because I was just, like, dipping my toe into it this past month, because really before I'd only read a couple, not a couple, but I read several of Larry McMurtry's, and I've read a couple of, a couple, like, more well-known Western writers, so, yeah, I was happy to find more to put on my TBR list. Let's see. Then I have, this is Wyoming Live, Body, Spirit, and History by Betty Starks Case. It has a interesting photograph here of a moose, and you can see, like, the funny shape of them. And let's see, what is this about? Why did I pick this up? Oh, it's signed by the author, so that's cool. But yeah, it says, like, surviving the simple life, a tough, tender spirit, enchantment in the ordinary way. And so, yeah, I just love, like, those books where it's, like, just, like, like, talking about the simple life of, just living off the land and living through the seasons. And so, yeah, this looked really good. And I have A Road of Her Own, Women's Journeys in the West, edited by Marlene Blessing. And see, this has a little sticker on it. Local author has a story in this book. Okay. So maybe it's a collection of stories then, kind of like the other book I was talking about. But it's been a while. Let's see. This one says, within these pages, Linda Hasselstrom, yes, that was one of the editors of the other book. Fear and resolve as her car breaks down and she's stranded in a threatening small town. Okay, yeah. So they're all, like, in a similar vein there. I have The View from Lazy Point, A Natural Year in an Unnatural World by Carl Savina. I really like his work. I've read, Becoming Wild is a book he wrote a year or so ago that I really liked. Has a parrot. I'm pretty sure it's a blue and yellow parrot on the cover. And so he's kind of like with Sally Carriger. Whenever I find some of his books, I always want to pick it up. Is there any illustrations in this one? Yeah, there it is. There's a whale here. And I was thinking about illustrations because I saw this, like, pretty illustration on the back. But yeah, that one sounds good. And then the last one here is a chunker. This is The Fitzgeralds and the Kennedys, An American Saga by Doris Kearns Goodwin. And I've read several of her books as well. I really like her writing. Oh, this is heavy. But I checked and it wasn't on ebook, so I wanted to pick up a physical copy. That's a doorstopper here. But I read An American Princess recently, like a week or so ago. And that's all about Alice Roosevelt. And so the Roosevelts were on my mind. And so I was just perusing the history section. And I love reading history, but the Powells, like, especially the downtown Powells, like, their history military section is just overwhelming. There is, like, rows after rows of thousands of books that I'm like, I have to go in with a specific subject in mind, because otherwise my eyes are just going to fall out of my head. So, yeah, anyway, this sounded interesting, and I really trust the author, so I wanted to give that one a go. So anyway, those are all the books I've picked up on my recent shopping trip. Maybe you can see why I don't go that often, because if I did, I would have no money. Because, I mean, it's just, you can just browse endlessly, and every time I go, I spend about an hour and a half there-ish. But I swear I could spend all day and still not see everything. So yeah, it's for sure an on-taking when you go. So anyway, I will talk to you soon and sign off before I melt into a puddle. But wish me luck on this huge heat wave that we're experiencing, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.